Hello.
Virabhadra sir, recording has been started.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is in good health. My name is Tanya Singh and I'm from Eggmatrix. Thank you so much all for finding time and visiting today's webinar. Thank you, Vikas sir, for joining us today. Before we get started, I'm going to go through some housekeeping to ensure you can interact with myself and our guest speaker. If you wish to ask our presenter a question, please type them into the question box in the chat box section. You may send in your question at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the question and answer session at the end of today's presentation. Also, make sure that your mic is on mute when sir is speaking. If you need any kind of help, please feel free to write down in the chat box section. So, you must have heard that Eggmatrix is arranging this webinar. Now, what exactly Eggmatrix does? Let's say like this, that what are the things that a company look for while hiring a candidate? Skills, dedication, communication skills, right? And what are the things that a candidate look for in a company? First of all, pay scale, respect, work environment. That's where Eggmatrix comes into play. Eggmatrix bridges the gap between our talented youth and agri industries by empowering students and unemployed youth through its training and placement opportunities. Our team, with their experience in this sector for more than 20 years and research, has carefully constructed these programs with the sole purpose to train students in diverse sectors, covering all bases and the fundamentals which would be crucial for their success in their agriculture sphere. Our programs are built in to train students in various aspects so that they may match the necessary job requirements in the industry sector. So basically, it is a platform for all, be it a budding agriculturalist in colleges, agri input companies, or the professional. If you want training, upskilling, internship, job, career guidance programs, or consultancy, contact with us. Uh, with this, let me introduce you to our guest of Startup Talk series, the food and agribusiness man of Maharashtra, Mr. Vikas Dangat, chairman of SV Group of Companies. And when I say a group of companies, I don't mean 2 companies, 3 companies, or 4, but 8. 8 different companies. Sir has a patent named after him for manufacturing sugars with lower GI at National Life Specialty Private Limited. Many of his company relates with agriculture and food business because he saw the potential in this field. Westwick Food Private Limited, one of his company, manufactures, supply and export ready-to-eat cooked, canned frozen fruits and vegetables in the market. He aspires for a revolution in farming systems such that there would be no residue or leftovers. He has traveled globally for his passion towards innovation in food processing. The belief that food itself has the power to heal and there is no need to add supplements in our diet. He has given speeches to almost 60 different colleges and uh, it- uh, Sir has given speech to almost 60 different colleges and 7 universities and is associated with more than 25,000 farmers. He has also received prestigious awards from the government of Maharashtra and worked on various projects on soil quality as it affects the quality of food production. Sir strongly believes in healthiness, wellness, and happiness, and his extension work is on medicinal plantation and nutraceuticals. Not only this, he has profound knowledge on artificial intelligence and studied in virtual reality and machine learning. As this COVID pandemic situation has come up with many different challenges, job placement issues are getting more and more. And to address this, we have a guidance session today on opportunities of business in food and processing sector. We feel honored by your presence, sir. Over to you.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you for inviting me for such a wonderful event. Thank you, Dr. Preeti, for giving me an opportunity to get connected with AG Matrix. Thank you, students and entrepreneurs. Thank you for my introduction. Really wonderful day today, Sunday. Sunday is holiday. Everybody must be enjoyed their breakfast. Somebody must be enjoying their early morning food. Food is really interesting. Food is contributing, I think, 80% happiness, wellness, and healthiness among the society, actually. Apart from the mind health, of course, mind health is equally important, but the current or recent research did by a lot of scientists throughout the world, food is even impacting to change the DNA. And that is the wonderful thing is been happening. So you can imagine how the food is very important in our life. 80%, as I said, the happiness, healthiness, and wellness is depend on the food. What you take every day, it reflects in your body. So food is very, very important part of our life. Today's session, we are going to cover three major points. What are the different opportunities into food processing? What are the different hurdles into achieving those or executing those opportunities? And can you hear everybody? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the third and fourth most important is the certifications and the food safety. Of course, if you go to different countries, different geography, the food habits are different. That is the one of the reason that the local food is very popular in that particular geography or particular state or particular district or particular village. If you see the beautiful, colorful India, if you go to North India, if you go to Northeast, if you go to South, Southeast, South North, or the different parts of the country, you will find the different food habits and the different food products, variety of products. If you go to South, the South Indian dishes are very popular like idli, dosa, and other different varieties. If you go to North, the parathas, jalebi, and many other products. Same like if you go to Gujarat, the dhokla. If you go to Maharashtra, the vada pav and all these samosas and pohas and chira and upma are popular. If you go to the other part of the world, the Mediterranean countries, they have a different food habits. If you go to Europe, they have a different food habits. If you go to US, if you go to Germany, if you go to Japan, they have a sushi and many more. So this is really colorful and wonderful segment where I came across. As you must have heard the introduction given about my companies and group and myself. So we have a diversified group. We started our career right from engineering. Our every vertical is the solution provider. And the similar way, with the same passion, 10 years back, we enter into food processing. Now in food, we have 4 different verticals. We are manufacturing a lot of food products as well as we are providing technical solutions to different companies. Some companies are into food processing, machine manufacturing. Few are into providing hygiene solutions. So the 70% our group companies are directly or indirectly into food and agriculture. So food is a passionate thing in our total portfolio. So we, all the group companies are working towards bringing or rather the contributing, rather our vision is to contribute to bring healthiness, happiness and wellness among the society. And that is only possible by way of feeding pure food to the society. So we learn this food processing or rather the agriculture with hard way. We never had experience or we never learn academically into agriculture and food processing. None of our earlier directors had attended any food processing colleges or universities before. But now, yes, we all are working towards bringing this happiness, wellness, and healthiness among the society at large. I know this is a very large vision. It is not a small thing, but we are trying. All our actions are towards this. And that is one of the reason that we have a now tagline, kiss the soil. If soil is pure, then there will be a purity in the food, and there will be a purity in the thoughts, and there will be a purity in the planet. If we all can work to save our soil, indirectly or directly, we are going to save our planet. Please note this point. Very, very important. Because nowadays, whatever has been happened last 40-50 years with the green revolution, the productivity of all the food grains, all the vegetables and fruit have been increased to feed the population. But unfortunately, there was no study during those time what will be the implications of developing a lot of hybrid or GMO varieties on the human health or the planet. And we all are observing whatever is happening with this global warming, and that global warming is happening just because of the one of the reason is this revolution of a green revolution. And during this green revolution, all we have started using a lot of chemicals, chemical fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides, and that was the one of the reason to have a larger level of air pollution, water pollution, environment pollution, and it has been impacted a lot. All our soils become poisonous. And now, if you ask me, Indian mother's milk is been contaminated to some extent, and that is very, very strange that our second generation will not able to walk even. So our all immunities have been gone down because of these impurities and substandard food. So a lot of things are happening in this particular segment. The adulteration is one of the major issue. Why I'm briefing all this? Because see, we need to be very careful what we eat, and whatever we are going to eat, that same has to be given to the society. Otherwise, many people, they eat different things and they are providing different food to the society. That should not be the case. It has to be uniform. It has to be the pure, universal for all. So, brothers, friends, these are the things are very important, that we have to save our planet. We have to save our Janani. We have to save our soil. Now, I will be briefing you on different opportunities into food processing. I will start from grains. Grains, there are a lot of products are been already there in the market, but what we can do better than whatever is there in the market is that we have to have an innovative in the products. So you must have noticed throughout the world, the wheat products are being getting banned. So there is an opportunity to manufacture gluten-free ingredients. So which are the grains where we can manufacture the gluten-free ingredients? Apart from the wheat, all the legumes, lentils, all ancient grains we can use to convert into different products. The millets are being getting very popular nowadays. Millet are the grains which carries a lot of protein content and dietary fiber. So there are a lot of opportunities. Somebody should start manufacturing the millet idli, millet dosa, or ready-to-eat rice from the millets. So grains, there are a lot of grains which are being not even noticed. Many grains. Apart from the millets, there are amaranth. Amaranth vadi. Amaranth is nothing but the Rajgira in Marathi. There are a lot of grains like amaranth, which carries nutritional values, getting popular throughout the world, but we Indians are neglecting those grains. Rather, we have never given focus on that. There are very few localized brands who are manufacturing amaranth products. Amaranth is the grain which carries again highly nutritious product. The small bars can be manufactured out of this and can be packed nicely and can be introduced in the market. So amaranth bars with chocolate, amaranth bars with cereals, amaranth bars with jaggery, amaranth bars with fruit pieces, amaranth bars maybe with some vegetable pieces. So these are the products where you can enter to manufacture the different bars and cereal bars, energy bars from different grains. That is one area. Another area is ready to cook product, as I said, similarly like from rice and lentils, what we manufacture South Indian dishes. The similar way you can start manufacturing similar kind of products from different grains, mixing those grains with vegetables. So now there is no limitations for the processing. The technologies are available in and around. We can start manufacturing very easily. There are different products of vegetables. Already the people have started manufacturing IQF products. So there is a tremendous potential for IQF vegetables throughout the world. As everyone knows, the situation of pandemic, the harvesting hurdles and then distribution hurdles of fresh vegetables with this lockdown, for this the option is to process the vegetables to IQF, where you can have an extended shelf life of 2 years. The pickled vegetables also will have a shelf life of 2 years. In IQF processing, there are different products you can process right from vegetables, fruits, curries, ready to eat products also are possible. Nowadays, ready to eat snacks are getting very popular in Europe. Maharashtrian snacks or Indians like samosa, paratha, then bhujia and many more. I know one company from Gujarat, they do export of 4 onion bhajis containers to outside India. So there are a lot of potentials in India as well as outside also. So the freezing of vegetables is one of the process where you can enhance the shelf life of the commodities of all the vegetables. Similar way, pickled vegetables are becoming very popular in European countries and Far East countries. So baby corn, then small onions, then garlic, then lot of different vegetables are being packed in glass jar or cans like sweet corn and many more with the media of brine or maybe the sugar syrup. Fruit preserves is another product range where you can manufacture fruit preserves like fig, pomegranate, mango, then chiku and many more, which are available abundant in our country. So as everyone knows, there is a lot of potential to convert these all fresh produce products into the processed products, because India is having largest productivity in the world in few of the products. For example, the banana is the fruit where India is #1 in production. But sorry to say, we are 10th in exports. I'm very sorry, because there are a lot of reasons why we are on 10th position into exports. The reason is we don't have a processing units. We don't process banana innovatively. Apart from the banana wafers, we don't manufacture any kind of products. Friends, the country like Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Philippines, they are very small in size compared to India, and their productions are very low compared to the Indian production. But the country like Philippines, they convert their fresh produce almost 40 to 50% into the processed food. So you can imagine the potential for these kind of products. In spite the country is heading into the production, but we don't process it. I don't know what is the reason, but maybe we don't have a vision. We don't have a banana juice, banana puree, or banana is been used in different products. Rather, banana is carrying again highly nutritious content, nutraceutical values along with the bricks. Banana itself is very high sweetener. As you may be knowing, the skin of the banana, the peel of the banana is also useful to compose in a composting or to manufacture the enzymes also. So there are many byproducts of banana, banana peel, even banana tree, even banana stain. It can be value added products can be manufactured from this, like a paper industry. The banana stem is one of the major ingredient rather. So mango, we only have hundreds of plants of mangoes of manufacturing only the pulp, but we don't manufacture innovative products from mango. Mango also, we are one of the largest manufacturer, rather producer country in the world, but in processing we are really very negligible. Apart from the mango pulp, we don't manufacture any other products. There also we do have a lot of room. Country like again Thailand and Philippines are the leaders into processed mangoes. They manufacture their mango. They don't have a taste of their mango like Alfonso. We have absolutely fantastic mangoes in our country, but unfortunately we don't have a appropriate processing units. So there is a lot of room to start manufacturing other products from mango, dehydrated mangoes, mango chips, mango chunks, then frozen mangoes, then cocktail juices from the mangoes. So like coconut water along with mango chunks. Nobody have thought on this. Day before yesterday, I had a webinar on onion processing, which was organized by Ministry of Food Processing Central, along with Pune office with ICMR officers. There also, I told people are thinking to only manufacture from onion, the dehydrated onions. But trust me, dehydrated onions, it is a saturated market, because in Gujarat, there is a one village called Mahua. In Mahua, there are 125 plants already been in operation. They do manufacture hundreds of tons of onions processed every year. So we need to think differently what kind of nutraceutical values the onion is carrying. The same thing I told all the participants day before, that there is a possibility to manufacture onion oil. Onion oil is becoming very popular because of its again therapeutical and nutraceutical values. Friends, you can imagine what quantity of onion is being manufactured in our country. India is second largest country in the world after China, but again we do only fresh exports to Middle East. But there is a tough competition is going to be there in future. I told all the participants that the Iran is coming up with very good cultivation practices, and for Iran to export fresh onion to Middle East is very easy. Our ship is reaching after 3 days, but Iranian barge or small wood ship can reach within 8 hours to any port of Middle East. So they will be more and more competitive, and the competition is going to get increased. So we have to be, friends, very innovative in manufacturing of any kind of food product in future. So same way, onion oil, there are supplements, food supplements being manufactured by from onion. Then there are again a lot of opportunities into ready to cook or ready to eat snacks from onion rings. The frozen onion rings is one of the product that somebody can start with that. There is a huge market in the world. KFC and Pizza Hut is having on their menu card the frozen onion rings. So there are a lot of possibilities like this. So some tablets have somebody have started manufacturing vitamin tablets from onion. Similar way, these kind of products can be manufactured from every kind of vegetables, because we have a very tropical weather. Our few of deshi varieties carrying a lot of nutritional values and can be converted into value added product. Same way the fruits. The custard apple is one of the fruit from our country, which is uh, which can be very good for the world. From custard apple, it carries a lot of nutritional values, since dietary fiber content in this particular fruit is very high, and the fructose content, if you see the sweetness, the Brix value is more than 25. So we can easily be used to feed the babies, and we can use in baby food. So similar kind of products can be manufactured, like fig. In Pune district, there is a huge production of fig, but we don't process fig. One of the companies only manufacturing jam. Apart from the jam, nobody is manufacturing any other product. But there is a huge potential to manufacture uh, from fig powder mixed with other nutraceuticals, and to have a food for the pregnant woman or even the babies also. So there are many opportunities that we have to explore. We have to keep up our eyes, ear, and nose always open. Similar way, there are a lot of opportunities in juice segment. Again, there was yesterday one webinar happened from MIT. MIT student did presentation on fruit juices. So there is a room, in spite of there are different brands already been there, but this particular fruit juice section sector is having a growth rate or CGR of 7.8 per year. So there is a tremendous potential in this sector also. Some local companies can manufacture locally processed juices in their respective geography and can be supplied to the school children's, and school children's will like very much of these fruit juices if those are available without preservatives, without chemicals, easily off the shelf with the affordable prices. As nowadays the different processes are also been available, like a cold press, where you can retain the nutraceutical values as it is. Hello, there is a back voice is coming. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if you can please turn on your camera.
So there are a lot of opportunities in juices. As I told you, the cold press is the new process where the cold press, with the cold press, we can able to retain the nutraceutical values and also the aroma and the color. And for further processing without thermal treatment, we can go with this high pressure processing, where without thermal treatment, without heating the juices, we can prepare the juice as fresh as harvested. So potential is enormous. We have to explore these opportunities. As I am always telling all my friends and students, today there is a problem with COVID. Tomorrow new
Sir,
COVID will pop up, but then we have to prepare to defend all this. So to have a defense from our side, or to withstand with this kind of
uh,
problem.
Vikas sir, Vikas sir, actually there is a request from participant if you can start your video, that will help to record your session better.
I will try.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I'm from my mobile, so I'm not sure whether I can able to have a constant position for to
And
keep.
no problem, sir. But that inspires, right? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, session is going very, very good. Thank you, sir.
not a problem. Welcome. So as I told you, this high pressure processing is the process where you can prepare the juices without any thermal treatment, without any preservatives, and you can extend the shelf life till 2 months. So there are many opportunities are coming up, as I told you, but we have to be very flexible to adapt and implement. Our project, rather our processing units are to be very flexible to have a defense or to sustain in such kind of unstable environment, because there is no stability. Sometimes, last 2 years we all whole world is observing that there is no stability in any kind of business. There are uncertainties happening, so we have to prepare for that. Our business model, our product range, our infrastructure should be such a way that has to be flexible enough to manufacture different kind of products. Now with this pandemic, this cloud kitchen concept have been coming up very well, and deliveries through different companies like Zomato and many more. So there is a business, there are opportunities, but again you have to be very innovative. There are again opportunities to manufacture those kind of ready meals and supply with the locals, where there has to be some geographical limitations. The delivery boys can reach to 10 km or 15 km in range, where they can deliver the food safely, and the food can be freshly been delivered and freshly can be consumed. So the tiffin business is going to be a very big, where you need not to have a big kind of a QSR or restaurant, but then only the cloud kitchen. With the cloud kitchen, only you have to invest into the small kitchen kind of a thing. But again, you have to be very cautious or sure to maintain the hygiene and cleanliness when you are doing this, because there will be a surprise audits will be starting for from food safety perspective. These municipal corporations or food drug authorities will start uh, visiting those facilities to have audits, because that is very important. Where you manufacture the food, what is your process of selecting the ingredients, how you process it, how you primary processing is being carried out, then how is the been being processed, what are the equipments you manufacture to process the food. So these are going to be very important and crucial. So another sector is the snacks is every snacks or every geography or throughout the world, snacks is been very popular. So if you go to different regions, different part of the world, there are different requirements of a snacks. In India, as I told you while beginning only, we have a colorful country, colorful food, colorful culture. Our nation is very colorful and incredible. And our food is also incredible, which is becoming very popular throughout the world. So our food throughout the world is having highly in demand. If you go to any Indian restaurants outside India, those restaurants are being getting completely full with Europeans or Americans or Japanese in their respective geography. This chicken tikka become UK's national dish. So you can imagine how the Indian food is becoming very popular. Everybody knows from Europe what is chicken curry and chicken tikka and rasa and masala and lassi. So those all Indian restaurants outside India are being served our food, but unfortunately only Punjabi food is been popular and is been industrialized. I'm sorry, I don't know why these Maharashtrian food not becoming very popular. Rather, long back we registered one our brand name called Indian Hut. When Pizza Hut came into the market, we thought that why we should not think about making our own brand with the name Indian Hut. So Indian Hut will should carry the parathas and batate vadas. Why we should not have our own brand at an international level, not only at a national level? See, we people are all adopting this European or Western culture. This KFC, Pizza Hut, Domino's are becoming very popular in our part of the world, and we are all are followers of those kind of foods. Please trust me, our food, Indian food, compared to these all foods, our food is carrying a lot of therapeutical and nutritional values. So my rather suggestion to all of you that somebody should come up with the different these ideas and start some QSR out of India, the chain of QSR. If McDonald can do it, why we Indians cannot do it? This is very big question mark. Rather, we have planned to do it now. If some people are like-minded people are interested to invest in us, we want to come up with this kind of a concept, from farm to fork. If our vada can be, if our barcode of vada pav can be scanned, the camera should reach to the farm level, and that kind of 100% traceability has to be there. So we have designed our total business model such a way that every our consumer can have a 100% traceability from where our ingredients are coming up, from which farm. If the ingredients have been cultivated in Baramati of Pune district of Maharashtra state from India, then camera should reach to that particular village, and from that particular village to that particular farmer's place where the potatoes are being cultivated. So the total history of these ingredients can be stored in a soft way. And then what are the cultivation, good manufacturing practices have been carried out at farm level that every consumer can understand. So his happiness index will grow substantially, because if you know whatever you are eating, where it is been prepared, at what level, and where the ingredients have been sourced, if you know the whole history of all the ingredients and good manufacturing practices, and when you will come to know that all these ingredients are safe and then are being sourced chemical free, the no chemical fertilizers have been used, no pesticides have been used, this is been deshi varieties carrying a lot of nutritional values, these are GMO free, gluten free, then your happiness index, I think, will be more than 10 times before eating even food. So if you can imagine how the signals will grow, will be given to your brain before even eating the food. When you eat such kind of pure food, I am 100% sure your all happiness index will grow fantastically, and your performance of your work and every of your performance will be 150 times will be greater than what you was having earlier. So this kind of potential is there, because with this artificial intelligence and virtual reality, you can do wonders. You can reach to any kind of any level within a second, or any kind of part of the world, any corner of the world within a fraction of a second. So if you go to with the virtual reality, you can go to the farm, you can take your consumer directly to your farm where you are cultivating your produce, and show them how you are practicing at farm level. And then imagine what will be the impact of the food even before eating, consuming the food with their health, because your brain is working very fast with the new technology of this digitalization, these multinationals are bombarding on you with their products. But friends, you need to be very careful about the selection of the ingredients, sourcing of the ingredients, then their contents, then label designing and the process, because process is equally important. You may be giving shelf life for 2 years for ready to eat meal, but then which kind of preservatives you are adding into it? What are the impacts on human health of those preservatives? Because you know the process of sterilization, ready to eat meal, the shelf life can be given for 2 years with retards. Any modern retards are available throughout the world nowadays. But then the nutritional values are going down by 40%.
అనుకున్నా కానీ బుద్ధికి ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళా అని
సరే మరి కింది దాంట్లో మంచిది
ఎందుకు
కూర పులుసులో పెట్టుకుంటారు.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you mute
Don't
the
unmute anyone. Okay. Go ahead.
hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So similar way, as I was telling the snacks, the different snacks from the different part of the world are becoming very popular. So why not Indian snacks can be popular throughout the world like burger and pizza and many more. So there are different snacks, opportunities are there. Extruded snacks. Extruded snacks, there are very few extruded snacks are available in our country. As you know, we Maharashtrians were having extruded snacks like chakli. The shape was different, but it is coming from the same segment. So there is a chance and opportunities to manufacture the chaklis or these extruded snacks by mixing a lot of vegetables like spinach and methi to add the nutraceutical values into it. So somebody should come up with highly protein based or highly mineral based extrusion snacks. Similar way with the cereal bars, as I told you, the energy bars, then fruit snacks, fruit bars, and dehydrated vegetables and fruits. So there are different processes in which market you want to launch your product, to whom you want to supply the particular product. The processes depend on that. There are hundreds of methods and processes around in the world available to process your fruits and vegetables. There is a simple and best way to process is sun drying. As you know, but there are disadvantages also from sun drying, because the product becomes blackish with sun because few of the sun rays harmful to the product and the tissues are getting damaged and the enzyme growth is happening or fungal growth is happening, and that is why the product is turning to black. So sun drying is suitable for few of there are another processes and methods like electrical drying by with the tray, then thermic fluid drying, then the fluid bed drying, then continuous dryer. The new technology is being coming up with infrared drying, ultrasonic drying, vacuum drying, and the costliest one, as you know, you may be knowing, the recently the drying processes is been becoming very popular with heat pump, room heat pump, and then osmosis drying, the freeze drying and vacuum freeze drying. So there are different advantage and disadvantage of every process. The investments are different. The final product quality is totally different. The final quality from the electrical heating, tray drying will be totally different than the vacuum freeze drying. The vacuum freeze drying products are carrying a lot of nutritional values, but then it is very costly. It is a batch type of a process. It takes 7 to 8 hours to reach to say 4 to 5% moisture level. But then again, it carries a lot of nutritional values. You can retain the nutraceutical values, color, aroma, as it is. So there are many products we can manufacture. Fruit preserve is one of the product, as I was telling, custard apple scooping, and many products from the custard apple, because it carries a lot of natural sweetener. It carries a lot of dietary fiber. If you see the fruit carries a lot of fruit, but then you can dilute the sugar content from it and you can manufacture many products. Then the fig is another product where you can have a value added product. Fruit preserves are becoming very popular in Europe, as we are one of the largest sugar manufacturer, but we only use sugar for manufacturing some carbonated drink, juice and chocolates. We don't know the other use of sugar. So we should use our sugar cleverly. As during the introduction, uh, somebody told that we have invented the low GI sugar. Yes, we have invented the low GI sugar first time in the world, and we recently started now supplying to the supermarkets, and we will be slowly starting to institutional sale. I'm very happy to tell you that we do also have developed low GI, low gluten wheat flour, and at the same time low GI rice. So these are the opportunities in nutraceuticals. A lot of things can be manufactured, a lot of things can be given thought and can be processed and can have a world market. Similar way, a lot of herbs, we have a lot of herbal production in our country, but we don't process it. As everyone knows, turmeric, we are one of the largest producer in the world again. Similar way, there are many products we are largest producer, but only we do trade, only we sell, we do only trading, we don't process it. In US, this turmeric latte become very popular, and some companies have started manufacturing turmeric latte, means turmeric milk, turmeric doodh, and they have started packing into aluminum cans like other juices and other carbonated drinks. You can imagine turmeric is being manufactured in India, it is being exported, they are processing turmeric latte. This is shock to me. Why somebody is not coming up from India and starting manufacturing this turmeric latte? In Japan, this turmeric shot is very popular. They take 10 ml or 5 ml shot before their drinks, because turmeric is carrying a lot of highly antioxidant content, antiseptic. We used to use the turmeric powder when we used to fall down when I was a childhood during my school days. So we have a lot of product abundant available in and around, but we don't think to process it. So there are a lot of opportunities, hundreds of opportunities. There are thousands of products. The food is, see, I am a mechanical engineer. We, during our mechanical engineering, we learn very few technologies and processes. So we know the turning, grinding, milling, threading, honing, and there are very few operations involved. But in food, I'm really enjoying. If you mix one ingredient into another, there is a reaction, and the new product is coming up. So it is really wonderful and interesting field. You can come up with very innovative, different ideas. Only you have to be careful, because there are a lot of hurdles also. Because apart from the product, in our today's session, we are going to discuss on hurdles. See, friends, I'm going to tell you one interesting story about me, how we came up in this particular field. One of my German friend, I've been traveling across the world. So I was traveling a lot in Germany, and one of my friend told that Indian people, I hate Indian people. So that was a shock to me actually. So why he said like that? So I started asking him. He said, no, Indians are not committed people. I thought that what happened? What happened with Indians? We people are very straightforward. He said, no, 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 no. Indians are very popular in adulteration. So I asked him in detail. So then he opened up. He said, he told me it was very strange and very painful and it was very painful to me to listen to him actually. Trust me, he told me that his friend bought a cumin powder, and cumin powder was adulterated with the shit of horse, and it was really shameful to country. And then I told him, gentlemen, that please trust me, I will enter in this field and I will show to you that Indians are not uh, doing like this, or Indians are much better than Europeans also. So that was the point, turning point for me to enter into the food actually. And then onwards, we decided to venture into food and with the world-class facilities. So that was one of the reasons that we build the kind of a facility in the country. But as friend, it was very painful to listen to him. So similar way, there are a lot of hurdles in food industry, because as he said that Indians are not committed. I'm sorry to say again, in 2005 also, the Doordarshan Sahyadri channel was interviewed. My interview was taken by Sahyadri channel in 2005. The same statement I made during that time, that we are not ethical people when the time comes of a commitment, and then we are not consistent. Our thoughts are not pure in that say. So it is my request, if you people want to be in agriculture and in food, please don't do any adulteration, otherwise it is a crime. It is against nation. Our nation's name is going to get spoiled, and it is really again humanity. So we are, one way we are killing the people. So it is my request, whatever you will do, you have to do by heart, consistently, by using these pure all ingredients. So there are a lot of hurdles. As I told you, India is only doing exports of mainly the grains, sugars, not much of a processed food. Apart from some biscuits, we do exports to African countries and some low poverty nations. But in processed food or processed vegetables, we are unable to be the leader because there are a lot of hurdles in this industry. One hurdle is of our attitude, our agriculture practices. So as I told you during my session, we grown up, we made self-sustain for by product increasing our productivity of grains and many vegetables and fruits. But unfortunately, during these days, we have been dominated by a lot of multinationals like Monsanto, Syngenta, and Bayer and Dyer and many more, by using their products. So our farmers are totally dependent on these companies. There is a huge difference. We were earlier practicing ancient farming. During those days, our soil was very pure. We were using all our old seeds. Now we all are using hybrid seeds either, or genetically modified seeds. The impact of that particularly started from the soil. Our soil becomes non-fertile. Our carbon content gone down. There is no carbon, activated carbon in our soil. The reason, then the implications of this, then the germination is not happening. If farmer need to have a proper germination, he is bringing some chemicals from the chemical store and he is doing the spraying. Then after spraying, after germination, for flowering and flower fruiting also, a lot of chemicals are being used. There is a lot of pest attack, because since there is no humidity in the soil, the pest is getting attacked, like what human is getting attacked by bacteria and viruses like COVID because of low humidity. The same as our soil is not carrying any immunity. So with that, the excessive use of pesticides and insecticides been impacted to have a MRL levels, higher MRL levels in our grains and vegetables. And the impact is that our vegetables and grains and products are not being accepted by European Union, Japan, and America. So these are the hurdles actually, men. So these hurdles need to be, we need to be come out of these hurdles by adopting again good manufacturing practices right from the farm. And then at hygiene level also, we don't follow the rules and regulations. For food safety, we are very casual. We try to do the shortcuts in processes. In personal hygiene, we have to be very careful. Even machine hygiene, then the change in the process parameters, we are little bit चलता है करके जो भी हमारा जो एटीट्यूड है, we need to be changed and we need to be very careful about this. As you know, hand hygiene is also equally important. Friends, considering the importance of this hand hygiene, now people came to know the importance of hand hygiene and hand sanitization during this COVID. But I'm really happy to share with you, one of my company is providing these forced hygiene solutions. 6 years back only we have developed these forced hygiene machines and are being placed in our fruit processing plants. So these machines are being placed at entry point where you need to follow the protocol of hand washing, drying, then hand sanitization, then doors are only getting open. So these practices are very, very important. We came to know when we enter into food that we have to do such kind of things to change our attitude of our people. So we tried right from counseling, training, and then these forced practices are being placed. So we are very sure now, whatever, because hand is one thing where we enter with the hand, we touch everywhere, we do every operation with the hand. Hand is the culprit. As uh, I want to share one important thing in even US, in hospitals, 500,000 people are getting died because of the infection. And the infection is 90% infection in hospital is just happening because of this poor hand hygiene. And the same thing is in food. As you know, if you in your kitchen, you can imagine when you are cooking something, how dirty your hand is. So the same hand you are using for keeping your utensils or handling your utensils. So you can imagine the hand is been getting touched on how many surfaces within an hour. The same way it is happening in the larger kitchens or the food processing units. So you have to be very careful. There is a terminology is called CIP. CIP means clean in place. So whenever you are finished with your process, whatever equipment you are using, whether you are using grinding, whether you are using washing, you are using cutting, dicing, shredding, paste making, any kind of equipment or blenders or mixers, any kind of equipment for reason you are using for that process, you have to clean your utensils thoroughly after 100% utilization of your after completion of your process. And then that particular residue need to be uh, thrown in a particular vessel or collect in a particular vessel there itself. Then the residue will not get transferred from that particular equipment or particular from that particular geography to any other geography, and cross contamination will not happen. So there are many, many things we need to be very careful. The allergens is another area where we have to be very careful, because in other part of the world, the importance is been given a lot. For one example, I want to share with you. One 16-year boy died in UK 2 years back just because of this groundnut allergy. The groundnuts were kept 20-25 feet away from that particular boy, but then the allergy happened with him and he literally died. The diagnosis, then
analysis, doctor came to know and they declared that it has happened just because of this allergy. So handling allergens is also another important factor in food processing. So we have to be very careful. We have to have a separate storage system and storage handling procedures and systems and utensils, even for material handling separately for the allergens. So these are all different aspects of food processing. These are the hurdles, but with training, with knowledge, we can overcome easily. But for that, we have to change our attitude. We have to be thorough, knowledgeable for handling every ingredients and every process. Because as I told you, this is very interesting. If you add anything in anything, there is action and reaction. So either it is a good reaction or it is a bad reaction. Anything can happen with any human, or it can lead to any kind of thing. There are a lot of aspects, but time is very limited. I don't know how to address the different points in food processing. Food processing is a sector where we can discuss months together. As I told you, there are thousands of ingredients and there are thousands of permutation combinations. So if you can choose atom number 37 with atom number 580 and you can mix them, the new product is coming up. For that, new processes are coming up. So we need to always understand the emerging technologies which are really good for uh, maintaining the food hygiene as well as retaining the 100% nutraceutical values as it is. We have to be very careful. If we want to compete to the world, then all these aspects are very, very important, right from the design of the machine building, where we are going to manufacture the food, then the drainage system, then ETP, then water treatment plant. There are different requirements. Then even the process flow, then the material flow, the packaging material store, selection of packaging material. There are many aspects. So the packaging selection of packaging material itself is very big thing. We don't know, we never know what will happen if we select the wrong packaging material. For example, if there is a hot fill product and we are packing in a normal polythene, then there will be a lot of chemical reactions, because hot fill product can be filled of around 100 120 degrees centigrade. Some melt flow index of some polythene is very less. For example, LLDPE can start dissolving right from 100 degrees centigrade. So if you are filling your product, you have to be very careful in choosing the multi-layer film or retortable film, which can sustain for vacuum, which can sustain for temperature. We can be odor free. We can prevent oxygen entering into food product. So there are different aspects all put together. There are hundreds of things in food. The food is easy, food is difficult as well. For it is very easy to taste, easy to eat, but it is very difficult to prepare and maintain and execute. So, friends, I think I have told enough. Uh, there are many things which I can go and discuss with you, but I will like to interact with you guys on question answers. Another is that the certification. There are different food certifications are required to manufacture the food product. We have to register under HACCP. Then if we want to be in export in retail, so we have to be have a, with BRC, that is British Retail Consortium, then International Food Safety, that is IFS, then US FDA. So then the equipment also need to be, selection of equipment is very, very important. We never know what will be the actions and reactions, because validation of your process with validation of equipment is must if you want to deal with export market, because they know if the equipment validation is made, is been done, then need not to be in front of the machine. So it can be a manless machine, or customer need not to watch every process or every batch of his manufacturing. So equipment manufacturing and its validation is equally important. In food processing, the instrumentation part plays very important role. So the selection of all pressure gauges, temperature switches, temperature gauges, different sensors, linear sensors, then laser sensors, non-contact sensors. So these are very important. If we have to be careful, if we are very careful by selecting all our inputs for machine building, then machine validation is very easy, because selection of the stainless steel for food processing is also equally important. Stainless steel selection is very important since stainless steel carrying a lot of minerals. So nickel is one of the important mineral that has to be within the limit below 7.2%. So the grade of selection of this stainless steel, if you want to source the equipment from any manufacturer, you should able to ask such kind of questions. Which kind of stainless steel being used to manufacture the equipment? Whether it is SS304 or 316 or 317. So 210 is carries a lot of iron, mild steel. So it is magnetic. It has to be totally non-magnetic. Then while fabrication of the equipment, that is also equally important. Like similar way, the instrumentation, the temperature gauges, pressure gauges are important. Same way, this fabrication is also equally important, because see how the food safety is important, the human safety is equally important. These particular vessels, or for example, these retorts carries a lot of pressure and temperature inside the chambers. So the safety of these is equally important. The ammonia plant is being used for IQ of processing and cold storages. They're maintaining the ammonia levels, then leakage of ammonia and its impact is equally important to have a food safety. So I think I tried to cover almost maximum subjects during whatever time is available. So it's my request, if you have individual questions, you can take my email ID and you can start interacting over email with me. At this moment, I thank you once again for for inviting me for such a wonderful session. And if you have any questions, you can start interacting with me.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this valuable information with us. Like, it was really shocking to know that we are producers of so many, we are the largest manufacturer of so many things, and then also we are not, we don't have enough people to process it. It was very shocking. And yeah. So I really hope that some of us start something with your great ideas soon, and prove that we Indians are not adulterants, but actually really committed entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. We'll go ahead and take away some questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions in your question panel. It looked like we have some questions. The first question is from Damini. She asked that low GI sugar, organic foods, low gluten, all these are beneficial, but these things are expensive for a common man to afford. Like a jar of organic peanut butter costs for around 650 rupees. Can you tell us some ways or how to make all these things in a cheaper rate?
It is very simple. It is really a sad part, Damini. In our country, can you hear me?
Damini.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah. In our country, the vegetables are being sold on roadside, and the chappals and shoes are being sold in AC conditioner showroom. This is a sad part of this country. Can you believe me? We intake the food, vegetables. We buy the foods from the road, where it carries a lot of air pollution and the dust. You don't know the road vendor where he is storing the vegetables, how he is transporting his vegetables from the farm or the local mandis to the selling point. Do you know this? This is really a sad part. And how much money we spend on medicines, and how much money we are paying to the farmer. Even though if we want to buy one spinach sabji from the vendor, and if he or she told this is 5 rupees cost, then every person including me try to negotiate with her or him
Yes.
and asking them to reduce 50 paisa from 5 rupees. Are you asking to the medical store guys what is the cost of the medicines? Have you asked ever? What is the cost of diabetes tablet? What is the cost of blood pressure tablet? Why you are not giving discount to me? You need not to go to the doctor if you eat right food, pure food. So there is no harm to pay for the pure food. Rather, we should pay handsome money for the organic produce where produce is really pure. So you need not to go to the doctor to pay his fees, or rather to pay the medicines. So we should work on a preventive rather than curing. So we should start practicing from us. We should eat good quality food to have a good quality health and thoughts.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Sure.
Dr. Yudi Chavan from MPK Rahuri. Sir, what you are saying is 100% correct because we have good experience as the same. And you are motivated, that is German person who told you that story, and on that you started your business. The same thing in India, we are not giving more importance for the food. We are giving importance to other things. Even in foreign country in America, they are giving, for my example, milk container, they are giving expiry date for the 10 days or 15 days on that. We have to keep in the refrigerator. In India, can we find a single brand which is giving the expiry date for the milk? Nobody is giving that one. That's why everybody is listening. And then after that, when they will start a business, they will do the whatever the secondary items. And that's why we are not putting our food item in the foreign countries market. We are not giving the importance to the sanitation and toxic free food. That's why honesty and attitude, when we change our attitude and honesty, everything will be possible. Because
Yes.
this is my experience. I am also trying make as a food as a medicine. Why we will have to go for the tablets and capsules? We can take the food which will have the medicinal value. We are preparing different types of food material which will have the medicinal and take as a food as a medicine. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Chavan sir, thank you very much. Trust me, just 2 months back, I had been to Orissa and I really enjoyed along with my wife. We really enjoyed the tribes tour along with them and their food. So all deshi varieties, all ginger, turmeric, all vegetables,
Yes.
all deshi varieties. They use minimal pesticides and insecticides. The vegetable were testing them itself. It is not required any cosmetics or fabrication from toppings and from other parts and cheese and other masalas.
Yes.
So it carries a lot of theoretical and nutritional values itself.
Yes.
That is what I told, that we should start rather buying vegetables directly from the farmers who is producing
Yes, yes,
residue
sir.
free. Our government is taking a lot of efforts. Now I am working with Mr. Arif Shah. You may be knowing him. He is from government of Maharashtra only.
Yeah.
And they have tried to support to the farmers to promote this organic farming from Vidarbha area. So we are going to get associated with 1,000 farmers to buy their produce at fixed
Yes,
price.
sir. Yes.
So that is what actually we should ban rather road
Yeah.
shop vendors to buy from them, and we should go to the nice store or directly
Yeah,
to
sir.
the farm.
Sir, we have.
We are buying shoes and
Yes,
chappals
yes,
from
sir.
AC
That is
showroom.
very good example you have given. Sir,
Yes.
sir, I want to tell you that is a simple, that is sorghum. That is we call it as jawar from Maharashtra. It has more than 29 medicinal components in that one. But how many people are eating jawar? They don't want to eat the rotis and other products. And we have developed so many products and they are giving more than 29 medicinal properties. Then why should we should not take that one? Such type of attitude should be changed.
Yes. The jawar comes from Akluz area.
Yes.
That part of Solapur.
Solapur.
It is been called that it is carrying even gold particles.
Yeah, yeah.
So that particular jawar, the ancient grain is really popular. So we have to go with again ancient. See, biodynamic way of farming. What is that? Dr. Rudolf Steiner, who was the scientist, Australian scientist, came up with this word terminology called biodynamic way of farming. It is nothing but we were practicing, our forefathers were practicing this agriculture. So we were not buying at that time the seeds from any chemical store. My grandmother herself was having her own seed bank and she was using the same seeds years together. It is been called now the new terminology called regenerative agriculture. That is what is the concept actually, to bring the pure ingredients from farm.
Sir, I would like to ask a question, sir. So myself, my name is Mr. Huddin. I am a student of Imperial School of Agribusiness Management. The question that I would like to put forward is that, so you suggested that we should go back to the traditional method of farming, organic farming, and so on. But isn't there a reason why people changed from those type of farming and they came forward to using fertilizers and other chemicals so that they'll have more produce, they'll have more profitability, and basically they reduce the, like they have better produce, so they have better profitability. So in a way, saying that the organic farming and the traditional farming has become really costly and inefficient. So what is the solution for that?
No. Organic farming is not at all costly. Rather, that is the only way to reduce the production cost. If you go with organic, then you will able to reduce your production cost by using natural substance. The input has to be natural. The dung from Deshi cow, along with the cow urine, you can have one cow, Deshi cow, along with for 1 acre acreage is more than enough. If you are going to use that Deshi cow dung and urine along with neem and the extracts of some different ingredients as an anti-pest, so you need not to buy the chemical pesticides and insecticides. You have to increase. See, NPK, the farmers are using NPK. What is that NPK? N for what? It is
Nitrogen.
Nitrates.
Nitrogen is available 74% in the air itself, in the environment. Only you need to bring down to the soil
Yes, sir. Using
that
granules.
nitrogen
Yes,
which
sir.
is available in the air, which is very easy. People don't want to work hard. We want to make the shortcuts. That is one of the reasons that even ancient vegetables, the Deshi exotic vegetables also, the seeds are being bought by now from the seed companies. We don't
Yes.
regenerate them ourselves. That is how we are lazy. And that is one of the reasons the product cost is becoming costly, and it is being misinterpreted that the organic food is costly. No, not at all. Rather, organic will be the much cheaper because production cost is going to go down. For
Sir,
that,
what about the produce and
you
harvest?
have
Isn't that-
your soil, but you have to work detoxification of your soil. The same way how your own health is been contaminated. You don't sustain the COVID attack. You don't sustain the viral infection. The same way your soil is not able to sustain pest attack, because it is habitual to eat that chemicals, urea, phosphorus, and all pesticides and insecticides. That is one of the reasons the product cost is becoming very high. And then initially, of course, the first year when you will start practicing this organic, first year production is going to go down. Second year, there will be increase.
Yes, sir.
Then 100% you will come back to the production and your production. See, Prime Minister of India, the great Modi ji, declared 2 years back by 2022 farmers' income will become 1.5 times. How? What is the base for that? Chemicals?
Yes, sir.
Then
True, sir.
what?
That is very true, sir.
You have to reduce the production cost by way of adopting these practices. Otherwise, seed price are going to get increased. This year, Government of India given subsidy for 6,000 rupees for urea. How long they will give? See, this is all poison, poison cartel. These companies
Yes,
are
sir.
providing these chemicals and pesticides to the soil and farm, and same companies have their own companies to prevent cancer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it is very
So
much
this
true
is
that
poison
it is
cartel.
very
We have to come out of this vicious circle and see that there are wonderful products, vegetables. We have to adopt some intercrop practices. We have to start plantation of medical plantation. The extracts,
yes,
steam
yes,
distillation, supercritical extraction. So there are many ways and many processes. You have to have a will to do it. You need to think out of box.
yes, sir. And we should also really take the opportunity in the international market for the Ayurvedic medicinal plants and
I
organic
must tell you, India
producers.
can become the food basket for the world. That kind of potential we carry with us. But
That
then
is
we
very much true with the geographic potential that we are having. That is very much true, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you. Most welcome.
Next question is from Neha Kumari, and she's asking any business idea about superfood, related to superfood.
So super. There will be a lot of contamination and other things will happen. We have a lot of many vegetables, fruits. We can convert them into ready to eat, ready to cook, powder form, juice form, jelly form, jam form. We have a lot of wild berries. We have a moringa. We have a many things can convert into superfood. These are all superfoods. Whatever we eat is a superfood. Turmeric is a superfood. Whatever, ginger is a superfood. We have to use cleverly in our ingredients proportionately, and we have to have snacks. We have to have ready to eat, ready to cook, any kind of energy bars by using these. Any item you prepare, rice you prepare, roti you prepare, you can use these superfoods in your daily use. And you need not to go to the doctor. You can pay to the farmer, and you can use that money to detox your soil and bring the purity and try to help to save the planet.
Yes, sir.
So there are many opportunities.
Yeah. Okay.
I can name 100 products from India to have a superfood.
Great. So next question is from Hari Krishna, and his question is, what are the additional government schemes for food processing sector that would help them in starting a business?
Yeah, interesting. There are many projects. Ministry of Food Processing is giving maximum 50% subsidy. If you are opening your facility into low poverty states like Northeast, Assam and Meghalaya and Andaman, then you can avail 75% subsidy of capital subsidy. If you are investing 10 crore rupees, if your project cost is 10 crore, Government of India, Ministry of Food Processing can give 7.5 crore rupees on that. So there are different subsidies available. National Horticulture Board is there. State governments, different state governments are also providing different subsidies. There are different projects coming up from World Bank. ADB is also having a project. Asian Development Bank, along with Government of Maharashtra, the project name is SMART. They are promoting 5 crore. They are giving 5 crore rupees. So Adivasi Mahamandal, tribes funds. So there are many funds. You have to log into different websites, right from APEDA to Ministry of Food Processing to Agriculture Ministry to National Horticulture Board to different state websites. You can check on Google. You can Google it. Google is the tool nowadays, and it is click away. You can find all the information.
Next is from Shivansh. He's asking that which things are essential for starting a millet processing industry? Please guide me.
First of all, you need to start millet processing plant where the geography of cultivation is there. For example, Telangana and Hyderabad, near Hyderabad, there are many villages, they are cultivating this millet. So you can start there itself, and you can think, you can start developing many products, as I told you, ready to eat, ready to cook, or maybe the cereal bars or puffs or sprouts, or maybe the microgreens, or many things from the millet. So there are many products. You can have a microgreen juice, first time in the world, millet microgreen juice. I don't know whether we have to explore, we have to take trials, then idli, then dosa, and many more. You have to soak, you have to make sprouts. So many things can be done with that.
Okay.
Same, there are many products. Same what we normally do with wheat and rice. All the products can be manufactured from millet. Even in bakery item, to some extent, some additions we can do with that. Only question is, our millets are little bit bitter. So we need to select the varieties of seeds to have a little bit more bricks and sweeter millets.
I hope he got his answer. So a lot of people are asking about your email or number.
Number, no, it is very difficult to answer to every call, since I am also busy, and lot of webinars we are conducting to different universities, different government offices also.
Yeah.
Sir, can I ask one thing?
Sure.
Dr. Chow, we have a Department of Food Science and Technology. Do you have your company is some internship for the master students?
Of course, yes, but we are directly connected with Rauri University Dean. I think Mr. Pawar and
Dr. Farande, sir.
Kamble.
Farande. Dr. Farande is
Dr.
Dean.
Farande and Dr. Kamble.
Dr. Farande sir is the Dean, and Dr.
Ah.
Gadak sir is the Director of Research, and Dr. Prashant Kumar Patil, PG Patil sir is the Vice Chancellor.
Yeah, I think they are already in contact with my colleagues, directors. And
Okay.
Yes, we are open for that. That is not a problem.
Okay. Thank you. We want to send some student for the internship in your, if it is possible.
Yes, surely.
Okay, thank you.
Since we are carrying a lot of engineering background, we do manufacture a lot of food processing machines, right from vegetable washing, dicing, cutting, shredding, cubing, garlic
Okay.
peeling, custard apple scooping, and many more to hygiene.
Okay, sir. We will contact because we are establishing 2 food technology colleges. One is at Pet College at Sangli, and another one is the Malegaon, Kashti. There are 2 food technology colleges we are establishing under MPK Rahuri. That time we will definitely contact you, sir.
Surely, not a problem. Welcome.
Okay, so next is from Mr. Sanjay Bishnoi, and he's asking that what are the best agriculture companies to get into if someone wants to work in organic and sustainable produce?
I cannot name them, but there are many companies throughout the country who are practicing at every corner actually. Okay. There are thousands of companies, they are trying their level best to come up with their own brands, with their own inputs. There are many companies are practicing good, I will say. But you have to be very choosy again selecting them who are really genuine. Because certification, I don't believe only on certification. I don't believe on certification.
Yeah, true. Next is from Gaurav Sharma. He's asking, sir, how to reach foreign market and create our monopoly?
It is simple, it is difficult as well. As I told you that we need to change our attitude first. Our attitude has to be very positive that we want to enter any European market or American market. And then we want to become number one. There should not be any second thought in between. And then the steps are, there are 100 steps to follow. So every step need to address correctly, zero defect. So then it is very much possible to have our own brand on European earth or outside India. Rather, that is what I'm expecting from young entrepreneurs, that will be very, very happy to have Indian name outside India.
Okay. And one question I'm not able to understand, if he or she, Lenovo K8 Note is your name, and he's asking if India exports cereals while exporting high value commodities such as fruits, especially pulses, with proper processing, because India ranked first in pulses production as compared to cereals in the world. Will it be helpful for a successful economy?
Then surely, but as I told you, our production cost is very high.
Okay.
Because of our land holding is, we are holding land very thin. Every family in India, average land holding is hardly 3 to 4 acre, right? And then we don't do industrial production at farm. The reason behind the large, we don't have a large farms. The short farms, to have a industrialization, automation at farm is very difficult, very, very difficult. If you want to hear from me, now the practices in China, in Europe, the people have already been practicing the spraying with the drone.
Yeah.
So imagine 1 acre land spraying, they are completing hardly within 10 minutes. For the same, we need 2 people and 2 days, even for removing the weed. So our product cost is very high compared to them. We have a very less organized farming and industrial or automation. Our agriculture is totally dependent on labor based. And that is one of the reasons. And we have a lot of varieties. That is again one issue, that we cannot be a good exporter for the processed vegetables or fruits. The reason we have hundreds of varieties. For processing, we need to have very specific varieties. So that is where our cost is not matching with Canada and Burma, especially for African produce for these lentils. Their produce cost is comparatively very low. Our cost is very high. The reason is our efficiency of labor is low compared to these countries. Again, it is the same story. And then automation level is very, very low.
Because lands are already fragmented and it would be difficult for farmers to buy these products, right?
We have to apply labor where they are using all tools and tackles and instruments, and they don't need any hard cost. If you go to Europe, every family is holding minimum 3,000 acre land, and all they use harvesters, big harvesters like a building size. So if anybody is interested, can visit to the Hannover Messe, Hannover Exhibition Center for Agri-Technica. So you can find there all the tools and tackles where we never even thought to have such kind of harvester at farm. So every fruits and vegetables and grains are being harvested by harvester. In our area, only the paddy and the wheat is being harvested nowadays. It is only restricted till some grains, not with all grains and lentils. But now, if you see in Europe, even fruit harvesting is happening with robotics. So the mobile robots are there who can reach to the ripened fruit, that too. The sensor is pre-inspection is being done before harvesting the fruit, whether the fruit is being infected from inside or fruit is properly ripe or not. Then only that robot is harvesting. So where we are, if we harvest 100 mangoes, out of that 30 mangoes are overripe either or underripe, then wastage is very high.
Yeah.
And that is the reason our produce cost or product cost is not able to match with these people. At international market, people like us are facing the problem. We lost one order of 60 containers just last week because we were unable to match the prices from Egypt and Turkey. You can imagine One way we are saying we are an agriculture country. Our 70% economy is depend on agriculture. Another side, we are too costly. This is the another side of the coin.
So I guess this is our last question, and we have a message from Head Department of Food Science and Technology, and he's saying that respected Mr. Vikas. I have a message from Head Department of Food Science and Technology. He's saying that respected Mr. Vikas Dangat Sahib, very important information you have given to the audience, and they will get some benefits of it. Only Indian people should change their attitude and remain honest and are very important for doing good food business. So, yeah, this is the message he has sent. Is there any FPO food project government is promoting?
Of course. Even NABARD is having a project where even for registering FPO, the NABARD is paying the money.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to explore.
Yeah. Okay. Also, this is our last question. That how can you do residue from? This is from Janvi. How can you do residue-free farming for better quality food production?
First of all, you have to understand what kind of chemicals are banned, pesticides and insecticides.
Okay.
Then you need to study the European Union standards for MRL levels. And then you should know what quality of a soil you have. So what kind of diseases are pest attacks are happening on the product. So analysis of the, you need to have a pathological background of these products actually. So you should know what kind of attack is being done, what kind of disease is been there for the plant, and what is the remedy. Whether it can go with the chemical where you can control the minimum residual level, or you have to use the biological product. And but then biological product, then which biological product? Which are good for thrips or another diseases? There are hundreds of diseases. Then which biological product can control to what level? So intensity and infection level, it depends on the disease level. So you should have an in-depth knowledge for that. You should have a plant pathologist working with you, and who can select, who can do the analysis, what kind of disease is there and what kind of remedy is there. So it can be initially the balance of both.
Yeah,
Till your soil reaches to the respectable level, you should use chemical plus biological.
Sir, she can use the soil health card information.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. But then again, you have to have an NABL accredited lab for that.
Yes,
There
yes.
also, you should not be dependent on any result, lab result. Trust me, I'm very blunt on that. But you have to have a reliable lab with you where you can check all these parameters. So NABL accreditation is the best for that. So there are a lot of things. These equipments of chemical or microbial equipments to handle it, it required one way is expertise. So pro-efficiency test of that particular operator is must. Whoever is been operating that particular equipment in lab, वो कितना important आदमी है, whether that person is knowledgeable, whether that person is liable to operate that, whether there is 100% repeatability, accuracy, the calibration, these terminologies are again different in instrumentation. So this is again a different subject to discuss. Sorry.
So this is a nice
Good afternoon,
question.
sir. My name is Satyam from CV Raman University. My question is, which type of crop can be beneficial in the state like Bihar for a good profit or a further export?
Your chief minister, the ex-chief minister of Bihar. So we jointly made a joint visit to near the Nalanda University, where I don't remember the name of that river, but that is the catchment area. A lot of irrigation is been available there. So there you can cultivate any kind of vegetable. Soil is really fertile there. At that time, I think cotton and corn was being produced. The corn being used in the cattle industry. So I think Bihar is number one in that corn production. So why not to switch over from normal corn to sweet corn? It is very easy because already the farmer is used to have that practices to cultivate corn, normal corn. Then why you should not go switch over to the sweet corn? There is a huge market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So vegetable is another way. There you can start with sweet corn and then different vegetables. Even chili to grow.
Sorry for the disturbance. I don't know who was it. So I have this question one. I guess it is from Rohit, that new farmer laws, will that boost agri export and double farmer income? What are your views on this? I'd love to hear this.
I don't want to comment on this and I don't want to go into that detail. But we as a farmer and we as a processor, we have to change our attitude. No government is going to help and neither their policies are going to help. Please trust me. So we need to change. I need to change. That kind of attitude need to build. So we should not bang on the incentives and subsidies where we will get and we will build. No, I don't believe on that. So we have to believe ourselves.
Okay.
So I don't want to go to that politics.
Okay.
It is not going to help. If you want to become exporter, you start from yourself. And you show to the world that yes, you did it. So the world will follow.
That's great. A lot of positivity coming from your side, sir. I believe many of us will be like finally getting some positivity amidst this COVID lockdown.
You have to be positive with your life.
Yeah, sir. We have this question that what business plan can be taken in FPOs in food processing sector?
There are many. See, FPO means what is that? Farmer producer company. So you can start anything. You can start cultivating and organizedly one crop. You just concentrate on one crop. And then become number one in that particular crop from that FPO. If your FPO is been registered in Maharashtra, suppose, for example, near Aurangabad, then that region is very popular for chili. So you start cultivating, you can become a king in chili or turmeric,
yeah,
or any kind of crop. So then you start thinking for the processing. First, you get all farmers united. You train them for the good manufacturing practices. It will take a hell of a job because every farmer thinks that he is a director in the FPO. There should be one single leader and all should follow the single leader. Otherwise, there are many leaders in FPO. You know very well. So there are very few successful FPOs. There are thousands FPOs are being registered, but very few are successful. A reason behind that, there is no unity. The first, they should get united. What is the objective of the FPO has to be defined. And then for achieving that objective, that FPO should work with sequence.
okay.
And then you can do manufacturing anything. You can have a sugar factory also. Anything.
So this is our last question, that can you elaborate on herbal plantation and its business opportunities?
This is not the session for that actually, because it will take a lot of time. I
Okay.
need to go to again then ashwagandha and all the details and their nutraceutical values, then cultivation practices and many more. There are 500 products can be manufactured under this umbrella, and Ayush government of India, under Ayush government is working that, health department is working. They are promoting and they are supporting. So you should contact even Dr. Mokharji, who is heading botany head, who is a botany head of Pune University, and who is mentor to many FPOs and many farmers throughout the country. I must appreciate Dr. Mokharji's work in this sector, and he is really traveling across the country and helping and a lot of farmers, and he is trying to integrate Ayurvedic doctor and different herbal processors and many more actually. Yes, I am into it now. One of our companies working very hardly. If somebody is interested with the investment, they can contact us so we can guide them in private.
So we can have a different session on this topic as well.
Yes.
Na? So that means that there's one question that what machineries are needed for setup of food, superfood production and capital requirement. A lot of people are interested in the superfood production.
See, this is really interesting that people are interested, but they need to first understand and scrutinize the product, and they should know their investment area, how much investment they can do. As I told you, even for making any powder, they can use normal sun drying till freeze drying. I have briefed on 10 different drying processes where there are 100 dehydration processes. So each and every process carries different USPs, and the final results of final product is totally different. So it all depends the investment in which market, which product, which category you need to deal with. So the investment will be all totally depend on your study and your vision, where you want to place. Whether if you want to place the product in Japanese market, then you need to understand their standards of their particular product category, and then accordingly you have to set your plant, and then selection of your equipment, then validation of the process, validation of your building, then the certification, then investment total. You will come to know the total investment. So it is totally depend on the even the super food. It will be a number one food in as of now in the world, but then sector, segment, number of products, the category, the powder, juice, jam, jelly, ready to eat, it all depends. The processes are totally different. So selection of equipment is also depends on the markets and the price sector. So it's all totally different. You need to take my appointment for that.
Okay, so just a second. Let me see if there's another. Uh, Everyone is thanking you for such a great session, sir. And
So kind of you. Welcome.
uh,
Whatever knowledge I have given traveling across the world, I'm trying to share. It's my passion to share.
thank you so much, sir. And sorry, everyone, if I was not able to answer your question. Please make sure that you send it on the email mentioned in the chat box section, and we'll send your reply there. And thank you, sir. We really appreciate you being here and sharing so much of information in this pandemic and giving us more than information, positivity to do something new and being an entrepreneur.
Yes. I want to give last mantra to everyone.
Yeah, sir.
If we want to become a successful or happy, or to bring our happiness, healthiness, wellness, we have to be very positive, very, very positive about our life. The life is too beautiful. We have to enjoy every moment of our life passionately, consistently, by heart. Whatever we are going to do, we have to do by heart consistently with flexibility. That is what is the mantra actually, to live our life. Life is too short. We have to enjoy every moment. Every moment. We should not cry. We should laugh. Even for the problems, we should laugh. You will find the way out. And that is what is the business actually. That is what is the business.
Definitely. In this pandemic, I guess this would really throw us some light on various food processing business opportunities. And thank you so much, sir. And
Thank you.
So,
there's some.
All the best to all of listeners. Thank you once again for listening me quietly and interacting with different questions. The question
So I
session
would like-
answer session
So
was also wonderful.
sir, I was wondering if I could reach out to you for internship programs in your organization, and I would like my college to reach out to you.
You can share over email, and I am receiving 300 emails a day from my different
Yes.
colleagues and
Yes.
my customers and contacts, but every email is been answered every day. That I
Okay,
have
sir.
practicing last 25 years. Whatever emails are being received are being replied on the same day. That is what I practice. So I
So
will
can I
try
have your
to.
email once more?
Sorry,
The email, sir, can you, which I can contact you once more? Sir?
It is mentioned
I
on the
can
chat
send you
box.
on the chat box. I think. Can I
So-
share the chat box?
Yes. So everyone, yeah, we'll share sir's email ID. And now this, I thank Mr. Vikas Dangar sir for his valuable time, prestigious time, and valuable feedback to all students whoever joined. We are having the 100% participation, and more than 100 people were waiting outside, and they were asking video of this session to be shared. Okay, so we are going to share on this YouTube so that everyone can refer the suggestions and valuable information on the food industry, food processing given by Mr. Vikas Dangar sir. So thank you, sir, and we really appreciate your feedback, your contribution to the food industry, and you shared all the global knowledge wherever you have gone, and what Indian students and can do, and how agri industry can progress. So it's a really honor to host you on behalf of Agmetrics, and mainly it's yeah, it's superfood and it's the happiness index that you told. That is really important. And the last message that you have given, how to be happy, is really everyone should think on that. Yeah, thank you. And Tanya, you can conclude it now. Okay.
Yeah, so let's wind up. Yeah, thank you so much, sir, and hope to really see you soon again in some session. And thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Hope you had a lot of information. And thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye. Best
Yeah,
of luck to
bye-bye.
all of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Sir.
Thank you, sir.